It had all come down to this. 4 StarCraft 2 elites from the gaming region of South Korea, each willing to do what it took to overthrow each other in the 2024 GSL Season 1 Finals. For these talented individuals, no mistakes could be made. Every choice they made and counter move they chose had to be well thought out in every game they played.
There are some issues.
That's exactly what Stats did in the opening match of the day, when he squared up with fellow Protoss finalist Hero in Game 1 of the Best of 5 semi-finals. Hero was too advantageous in his stalker-driven assault, which ultimately led to Stats winning the numbers game.
Just is such a dominant game. I've never really seen Hero overextend like that in PvP. It's really telling about how desperate he was in this game to make something work. I think we should be in the final moments of this. There's less stalkers for Hero and a big warp in for Stats to make that lead insurmountable.
Stats locked down the early game win. On the long map of Crimson Court, Adepts went to work on Stats' front line after several failed attempts to sneak into his main. Once an Immortal and handful of Stalkers came to reinforce, Hero began picking off Stats' front line 1 unit at a time, leading to a Game 2 win and his first point on the board. It was a respectful game of economy management, scouting, and build orders in the third match, until Stats made his approach near the 9-minute mark. In a battle that was fought on ground level, numbers continuously dwindled down on both sides. With the collapse of his army, Stats was forced to concede.
Oh, but the sandwich with the Zealots coming on the left side could be huge here for Hero. Stats, he's using these blinks really conservatively. Now there isn't a lot left in the tank. Hero, is it going to blink forward on these Stalkers and get them out of this game? That pylon's going to go down. And man, in a back and forth game, you can see Stats take his hands on the keyboard. He types out GG.
Hero went in for the kill. A proxy robotics facility in the fourth game would prove to be useful against Stats. Early Immortals, backed by Stalkers, pushed up the ramp. Hero completely snowballed Stats, ending in a 7.5-minute win to take the semi-finals victory. Hero had now earned his seat in the Grand Finals. His toughest opponent in his 2024 career was yet to reveal himself. In a Terran versus Terran showdown of the century, Cure locked and loaded against Maru in their gripping semi-final set. The GSL fans didn't expect how brutally one-sided this series would be. From the first attack in Game 1, Maru played super aggressively. He started off with small exchanges, then continuously poked away at Cure to force him to defend. Cure did extremely well to recover, further pushing out the game past the 21-minute mark. Maru's Vikings helped prevent any counterplays against his fleet of battlecruisers, who roamed around the map causing destruction. Wasting no time, the duo jumped into the obscure map of Post-Youth, where Medivac drops became the theme of the early game. With pickoffs in his opponent's favor, Cure knew he had to take the fight to Maru or see himself fall behind fast.
And keeping pace with this one. Oh no, the reinforcement too gets pat. This is one of the things that happens, by the way, in maps when they're newly introduced is take a while to familiarize yourself, and oh my goodness, disable on one of the siege tanks as well. There are 2 liberators, but Maru has just enough with unsieged tanks. He cleans it up. GG.
One more map is all the returning GSL champion needed. The pressure rose on Game 3's map of Oceanborn when Maru once again went for early exchanges. For the first time in the Terran v Terran semi-final series, Maru was put on the back foot. Cure's 2-prong attack forced the Terran in red to split his forces and defend, all while minimizing casualties. Between Maru's battlecruisers and Cure's massive amount of bio, a base trade started to develop at the 18.5-minute mark. Cure was moments away from his first semi-finals victory, but a teleport back to Maru's last remaining base changed the course of the outcome.
Cure's gonna go for it, here we go!
All right, Stim coming forward. This planetary is getting taken out. Orbital command too. SCVs are pulled, absorbing a lot of damage. The BCs teleport back right now. The Seashank's getting so much damage on the bio. I think Maru might have done it.
GG.
Wow.
In dominating fashion, Maru once again confirmed his superiority in the GSL and rose to another grand finalist position. He would have his work cut out for him in the best-of-7 showdown when going head-to-head against Hero, the greatest Protoss player so far of 2024 GSL. Hero versus Maru. A story that has been told many times before in the GSL. On the precipice of the GSL Season 1 Grand Finals, these two individuals needed to put all thoughts aside and concentrate on the best-of-7 series in front of them. The opening match of the Grand Finals was played on the map of Oceanborn, where aggressive play was well rewarded. Blink Stalkers were rushed out by Hero, which worked in perfectly against Maru's early attempt of a Widow Mine Drop. Maru continued the aggression with Marines and Siege Tanks, eliminating heavy numbers in Hero's expansion. The counterplay was Zealots with Charge, Stalkers, and a Disruptor at the foot of Maru's doorstep. But it wasn't enough to end the game just yet. Colossus formed a formidable defense, while Dark Templar consistently picked off Maru's SCV count while avoiding detection scans. This put the Terran player on high alert. Hero's base count and economy was thriving despite the trades. Eventually, Maru knew that he was well behind in the resource numbers game, so he conceded the first match.
Hero's retreated back to the shield battery. He might be able to hold.
Yeah, and if Maru can't advance further than this, it's gonna be a problem. He's gonna try to wrap around. There is a base at 6 o'clock below the screenshot here that would be a nice target to try to take out. But I think that even at this point in time, Hero could chase him away from that.
I mean, look at the upgrades right now.
GG, he taps out.
A mech and Stalker-based frontline mixed in with Zealots and Dark Templar poking at his opponent's resources from the back. Hero found the first victory of the Grand Finals. Alcyone would be the battleground for Game 2, where 5 minutes went by for players to get their resources and build orders in check. A drawn-out early game battle saw units lifted and numbers dwindle, leaving both players at minimal army numbers. Hero rolled the dice by transitioning into heavy and expensive aerial units as quickly as possible, which left him completely vulnerable. As soon as Ghosts came in with snipes and Viking provided reliable anti-air, the GSL audience knew this one was over.
I'm actually amazed Hero's lasted this long. The Interceptor's gonna come out again. He's gonna try to get that recharge on it. He barely does it, but instead another carrier drops.
And he's shifting down the Vikings, trying to get as much damage done as possible, but as there's only 2 carriers left standing, third one coming to reinforce, but with no third base.
I mean, yeah, there it is, GG.
Maru tied the series, letting his opponent know that he was alive and well in the competition. After a short reprieve, the top-heavy map of Ghost River would be the stage for Game 3 of the Grand Final. A single Widow Mine put an early pause on Hero's mineral gathering. The aggression went into overdrive when a Banshee attacked from the south. Another Widow Mine dropped from the north, and a battalion of Marines and Siege Tanks marched through the front door. Hero was getting hit fast and hard, only 5.5 minutes in. Stalkers with Blink pushed the Terran player back. On his next assault, Psystorms were there to shred Maru's bio, further prolonging the game. It was the beginning of the end when a perfectly timed EMP landed on Hero's army, depleting shields and wiping out the mana pools of High Templar, making them unable to cast any Psy Storms. From there, Colossi were focused down. Maru's numbers were far too superior.
I mean, no armor upgrades here for Hero. It's all about the firepower, but that means that he needed those storms. He needed to compound the damage. In fact, he's not gonna be able to do it. The last Colossus goes down, and Maru, through just relentless aggression and a complete money EMP.
By picking the right fights, Maru cemented his lead in the GSL final showdown.
This probe out so early.
Warping in units on the map of Site Delta, Hero needed to turn the series around in the fourth game, scouting what he could to make sure Maru wasn't pulling any early game trickery.
There's another tank out here.
A proxy pylon and gateway was set up for warping in Protoss units close to Maru's expansion.
So it's going to be not just prep. So
whether assaulting the ramp or dropping in the natural, Hero's engagements were always met with resistance from Maru. After consistent Colossi harassment, Hero pivoted his strategy and found a way into the heart of Maru's base. The committed Protoss attack was thwarted, but Maru lost a massive 29 SCVs in the skirmish. This, however, left Hero with near nothing. A counterattack by Maru put the nail in the coffin.
it's only tier 1 units versus a lot of sustain here from Terran. The Disruptor's going to be out. Can he get a shot that would change this game? Not yet.
Just one lone Marine. GG is called.
Maru was on fire. Now at match point, he would need to focus on one last game in order to secure his 8th GSL championship title. The much smaller map of Amphion would see the duo once again clash in game number 5, after Maru found great value with a set of Widow Mine Drops. Taking aim at each other's bases, attacks on two fronts started to develop near the 6-minute mark. But with the Liberator shredding through Hero's main, the writing was on the wall. The Protoss player sent what was left of his army at his opponent, but Maru already had reinforcements in place.
The scan against 2 observers, both obs go down. Hero playing frantically right now for his tournament life. He's able to whittle away here at the Marines. But GG's call, he knows that's it, and Maru is once again champion of GSL.
Another outstanding series from the StarCraft 2 world record holder. This was Maru's 8th GSL title. There is no doubt in anyone's mind that Maru is the greatest South Korean digital real-time strategist of our time.
Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with the amazing eSport content from around the gaming globe. Only on Unbeaten Esports.